What does this stadium have to do with this man? The answer is you've got to see him to believe him. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The Hebrew word siyum means completion, but in common Jewish usage, it refers to completing a book, studying a book, in particular, studying the entire Talmud. The Talmud, also known as Shas, so it's sometimes referred to as Siyum Shas. Shas stands for Shisha Sidre, the six orders. The six orders or sections of the Mishnah, and the Mishnah, together with an extensive commentary on it called the Gemara, together makes up the Talmud. And and if you complete that, that is called a Siyum Shas. But a Siyum can also be on any Jewish book or set of books, whatever inspires you and intrigues you to take the time to really study a particular book in depth over a long period of time. Siyum can have very special reasons, but in general, it's about accomplishing this goal, much like Toastmasters, where when you complete everything you need to be a Toastmaster, become a distinguished Toastmaster. But even before that, if you complete a pathway, that's something worth celebrating, or even a level. And sometimes, as they say, even one speech. For some people, getting through the icebreaker is a huge accomplishment in itself. And similarly with learning, there are different groups and different sizes of these books. And sometimes, as they say, you can learn one page and be worthy of a siyum. Most of the time, it's a book or a set of books. So let's look at some different siyums over the years. The largest I know of is the worldwide Daf Yomi Siyum. Daf is a page, Yomi means each day. The Talmud consists, in its current established printing, 2,711 pages. And so studying a single page each day, day after day, year after year, you can complete the entire thing in just under 7.5 years. That takes some real dedication. Now, people have been doing this for as long as there's been a Talmud, around 1,500 years, but it's only the last couple of hundred years, as printing has become more affordable, that people have had their own sets and been able to study like this repeatedly over and over and over, page after page after page. In 1923, a worldwide group was started to do this as a practice where they had a set schedule of each day for a particular page of the Talmud. And every 7.5 years or so, they complete it. The 13th completion of it was in 2020, January 1st, 2020. And while there were celebrations of this all over the world, the biggest that I know of was in MetLife Stadium. 90,000 people, most of whom had actually studied. Many of them, like my daughter, was there. She had not studied it, but she was there to help celebrate. 90,000 people together for celebrating this one goal. It's an amazing thing. I have studied parts of the Talmud, a page here, a page there. I've been part of various groups, like one that Scott's a member of on Saturday mornings, where we've gone through, taking a lot longer than 7.5 years to get through everything, and in fact, never getting through everything, but learning along the way. And after many of these groups, after a single book, will have a siyum. But my own personal siyum story is as follows. Many years ago, Chaim Fruchter, who used to live in this neighborhood, he actually was in another neighborhood and started a group every afternoon studying a book called the Torah Tamima. Torah Tamima, kind of, well, hard to see here, but it is a commentary on the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, and on each sentence where there are relevant passages from the Talmud, it connects them together and with a running commentary explaining things. It's a fascinating book, and while I had the book sitting on my shelf for a long time, I only occasionally referred to it. Then one day, a guest of mine said that, oh, he had to go. It was time to head on out for this group. And I said, oh, what group? He said, oh, I'm studying with Chaim Fruchter. We have this group studying the Torah Tamima. I said, oh, great. What are you up to? And he told me. And I said, okay, quick. I grabbed my book and went along with him to Chaim's house. And I found out that other than Chaim, I was the only one who came prepared with the book. And in fact, over the next several years, I became known as the man with the paper clip, because I would take a paper clip to mark the page each week to know where we finished so we would know where to start the next week. I became a regular at this group. After a number of years, after having a Siyum on each of these individual books, we came to the end. Chaim had already left town. Somehow I had been elected to take over, I think because of that paper clip. But Chaim came back to town, and we had a Siyum at the synagogue, the same place where we have our Toastmasters meeting. And I got up there and spoke, and Chaim got up there and spoke, the rabbi got up there and spoke, and we completed this set of books, which was an amazing thing to do. I had never done anything quite like that before. And of course, we celebrate afterwards with scotch and little hot dogs because everything's better with scotch and little hot dogs. So that was February 1st, 2020. It was a month after this big Siyum behind me, and a month and a half before the world came, as we know it, came to an end. My group, we went on to study other things. We switched to Zoom. It kind of fizzled out, as did a lot of things, but life goes on, and eventually got involved with other things. And then we get to the latest Siyum, this past Sunday. This man here is Robert Leichter. He's another guy in the synagogue. I've known him for a few years. Turns out he grew up in Hungary and then moved to the U.S. with his family, was in California for many years. Several years ago, he moved here. And he's been studying the Talmud basically by himself, not on the schedule with the Daf Yomi, not with a group of thousands. But bit by bit, he's been making his way through it. And finally, this last Sunday, he had planned to invite a few friends. I was privileged to be part of it, along with my evil twin, along with a couple of rabbis that you see in the background there, and a few other friends. And we got together and for him to formally finish the Talmud. But at the same time, he also sort of told us his life story. I had learned a lot of things about the people who influenced him and how he enjoyed his life. And so it all connects one Siyum to another. And what puts it all, and just like Toastmasters, it's a journey that goes on, step by step. And just remember, you've got to see him to believe him. Thank you.